ready, steady, slide. Into right angles, ready, steady, move. And then everybody swap hands.
And the consultant and the nurse in charge / team leader are aware.
Carolina, no.
Yeah. Everybody happy? So on move, ready, steady, move.
Thank you. I don't think that's how that can do with the one in front. And take care, bye-bye, bye-bye.
Honestly, we're doing the best we can, and we're doing it in very difficult circumstances. We try and deliver as close to what we do normally, but occasionally, because of the number of patients, we have to prioritise what we can and can't do.
Continue Morobanim up to 5 days and we'll evaluate that to de-escalate it.
I think there is light at the end of the tunnel. The vaccines are rolling out. It looks as though hopefully we've peaked in the community with the lockdown measures and everything else. But there's still admissions coming in every day to the hospital, and you know, with what we know about COVID, you can be sort of 10 days into your illness before your oxygen requirement goes up so much that you need the support of a ventilator. So I think there's going to be a long tail from the admissions from the community before maybe intensive care calms down a little bit.
Lines are okay.
Yeah, lines are
Harry, do you want to come down to 24 on your filter to say you're changing up? Go. Hello, Ruth.
Hi. Good. I think I did this is the yeah, over one to reform. I don't reform it because stress me. No.
It is very hard when you see the despair and how desperate some of the relatives are. And I think we're often talking to people whose relatives are going to die. And I think it's a very difficult situation. They can't visit. The media is full of information about COVID, and that just makes their anxiety levels higher. So I think that when they speak to us, I can see that they find there's some peace for them for being able to speak to us.
How does it feel? Can you get the breath right down to here?
There's a big gap in how this is perceived by the public, and that's part of it. It's not shown what happens to the patients, the way the effect the doctors of their treatment, how it's affecting them having to give this treatment, being in the situations where there's a huge gap of representation there, and I think it's been a fundamental error because people haven't related to it. You see the figures, the daily figures, and they're nameless faces. I didn't really want my son to see me like that, because I thought it'd upset him. So we've spoken on the phone and been out of bed, and then sick here for 2 weeks where he hasn't seen me. So it's important to. The thing with this is, you feel like you vanish. It's a fear because of you have to be isolated. You feel like you just vanished, and I thought I might not see my partner again, talk to my mum, be a dead friend, be just a stat, and you do feel very like you've just gone boof, and you might not see anyone again. And you do start thinking about that. And you know, I've got a 3-year-old son who, that age, you forget, memories wouldn't really be real. They'd be just from photos, and that played on my mind.
I think you'll be looking forward to when you go home.
Yeah, well, seeing my son and explaining, being with my girlfriend Claire.
So we have to take it each moment as it comes. So if you're working in a COVID pandemic, if you're working on a ward, you take every shift as it comes, you take every day as it comes, you respond to the call as it comes. You may fall down and you get yourself up. You may feel low, you pick yourself up. You may have a cry. You may want to talk to your colleagues, but we're here to care for patients and care for each other. Back in the land of the living now, aren't you?
Yeah.
And when you get home, you have to really, really take it